Hey Soul Tribe, happy new moon in Cancer. So, I'm going to be doing a bit of a fly through with all the zodiacs to get each and every one of you some very individualized messages because there's a real lovely opportunity for us to use this Cancerian themed energy to in some ways reconnect with our feminine side, and especially if you're a dude, not being triggered by that very notion. Cancer energy is it's compassionate, it's empathetic, it's when it's used correctly, it people who have this superpower harnessed in a very healthy way, they become excellent healthcare workers with a good bedside manner. They enter into parenthood just wanting to nurture and cherish their children. But there's a real call right now for us to really embody a lot of our emotional energy. And I have a constant theme of using this energy to really take care of ourselves, to focus on this semblance of self love. So we'll be starting off with the sign of Cancer. We'll go through the entire zodiac cycle. And at the very end, we will have a message for the entire collective. But you can see below that there are some timestamps. You can go by your sun, moon, rising, or Venus. And honestly, if you feel called to look at a zodiac sign, and even if it's not necessarily in your birth chart, trust your instincts, tap into your intuition. All right, let's get started. Cancer, this is all about you. And it's going to require you to have a lot of patience, patience with people, patience with yourself. But I was making a joke a little bit earlier. Cancerian energy is lovely when it comes to being a healthcare worker, having good bedside manner. But I really feel like you're struggling to see the bigger picture because the cancer is about the moon. It's not so much that we see the moon, it's that we see the light reflected off of the moon. There's something that I think you might be projecting to the world that has everybody around you just a little bit confused. It's not even malicious, but there's something about what it is that you're projecting outward that's not really authentic to your inner self. So we do have the Ace of Swords, Nine of Cups, having a lot of clarity on what makes you happy, especially if you're somebody who has struggled with people pleasing. So we got Four of Wands, Four of Cups, damn, along with Five of Cups. Oof, okay. During this time, you're you're going to be asked to stop being so focused on trying to find purpose and pleasure with the crowd. It's kind of like a worst fear coming up to the surface that you're not invited to the party, or worse yet, you plan a party but none of the guests show up. There's some kind of emptiness that I'm feeling from the Cancerians, but there's something about within here, within this Four of Wands, you're being asked to release, especially if you've been trying to reconnect with somebody. But I think it's more that you're trying to hold on to a past version of yourself in order to please, to be people pleasing, to please your friends. You've changed a lot, Cancer. You really, really have. And I think you've been struggling with feeling impatient because what it is you're trying to magnetize into your life, it's not showing up. Or if it does show up, you're actually wholeheartedly disappointed. You're being asked at this time, like, do some shadow work. Like, there's the part of the moon that reflects the light, and then there's the part of the moon that is dark. And new moons, they're very dark. Like, have a dark sense of humor about it if that's helpful to you. But you're magnetizing something into your life and you keep being dissatisfied with the results. And so there's a question within here. Are you really operating authentically with who it is that you are? Or are you trying to be something that you're not? If you're somebody who doesn't really like to party, but you kind of force yourself into this semi-manic state in order to feel like you're part of something. That is actually a place where your guides want you to start to focus your energy, especially if you have been hyperactive, feeling a bit manic, because when you're in this headspace, you don't connect to your body and you have a very difficult time connecting to your emotions. There's something from your past that still needs to be addressed. And in order to heal it, you must feel it. So be kind towards yourself, especially if you find that your life is slowing down or you have circumstances that are making you feel a little bit exhausted. Listen to that. Your body is genuinely trying to talk to you and is genuinely trying to help you to work through some challenging emotions. But once you've dealt with this disappointment will transmute and you'll start to see the rainbow, or the pot of gold in this case, at the end of the rainbow. All right, Cancer. Good luck with that. Ooh. Okay. So put that up there. Actually, here. I have a funny way of organizing things. Okay, so Cancer, you're over there. Leo. Leo, what is it that you can focus on during this new moon? Because new moons, this is a great time for you to start thinking about what it is you want to manifest for the next 2 weeks to 6 months. And because Jupiter has gone into Cancer, for you guys, it's important to start thinking about what do you want for the next year of your life. Like, we're growing, we're expanding, we're being gifted opportunities to really dive into what it means to care for ourselves. But for Leo, shadow work. Like, and in some ways, you're going to be asked to go against the grain of something that feels natural to you. Like, Leo is all about, vibrancy, getting out there. But I feel like you've been so focused on the outward appearance or the outward expression that in some ways you've neglected what's going on from within. But what is it that Leo can benefit from if they just focus more inwardly? Because it's sort of like, I see you as a sculpture right now. I'm an artist, but I feel like you're a sculpture, and it's sort of like you're working with an artist who's trying to find the right kind of lighting. I think a few of you may have vilified what shadow work is supposed to be. And it's only because there's something deep down inside you've had a very difficult time trying to tune into. Because more than likely you want something better out of your life. Let's have a look. Oh, the Devil and Five of Swords. Yeah. There's this temptation to ignore an emotion. And it's because it's sort of like a thought comes up, you hate the thought is tied to an emotion, so you smack it down, because it's like, if I feel it, I magnetize it. I think you're still trying to understand what the law of attraction truly is. But what do you have up here? Mother of Swords. Oh, okay. Death. Three of Cups. So you've got some very constructive criticism. Like, you have this sort of like a guide. It could feel like a criticizing mom or a criticizing parent. Doesn't have to be. But you have this inner critic that you've adopted. And it's as though you've given this inner critic way too much power, way too much authority on what it is that you're trying to do. You are going through a transformation. And in some ways, I feel like you're worried about doing something bad. Because if you look at this death card, even though it's technically not the same animal, we're just going with bird, but it's sort of like this, Mama Snowy Owl has now turned to this. There's some guilt within here as though you are responsible, as though you're doing something bad. There's a fear that you're going to get into trouble. And I actually don't think that's your energy. There's something within your shadow that makes you believe that if you don't behave a certain way, talk a certain way, that you're a bad person. And that's not true. a lot about the energies around us are really asking us to have a very close look at the shadow. There's something that you are subconsciously projecting out to the world. Because if you notice that people are shying away from you, or the way that you're communicating, it's not reaching home. Like you may feel as though someone who's vilified all of the time by people. This is a past life karma that you inadvertently magnetized into this incarnation, and it's sort of like stuck around. It's like walking around and always having a scent on you, always having a smell, and everyone, like a lot of these people find you repugnant, so you kind of overcompensate. It's like, well, I just want to show them that I'm a bright, vibrant, happy person, and it never seems to work. You actually do have some hints from the universe with your friendships. And I actually feel like you've got a few people around you that you can trust to ask the question. It's like, when you look at me, what do you assume? But you have to be willing to hear the answer. There's something about taking your inner critic and knowing who it is that you can trust outwardly in order to say the thing that you need to hear. This could be something you say to a therapist. This could be someone who's a trusted friend. It's one of these situations where if you can't see it from within, be willing to ask the question. You can ask your guides and ancestors, and they might show you the answer through a television show or something that you see on the news. And if you're lucky, you're just hanging out with your friends. They share a personal story, and that gives you the answer that you need. Be very creative on how it is that you wish to receive your information at this time. But once you're able to feel comfortable defeating the inner critic, you'll be able to get this buried emotion out into the open. Awesome. All right. Good luck with that, Leo. So I'm going to put your card there. Ooh. Clear that up. If you're still here, got a little bit of a tower, but getting this sort of mind blown kind of mentality. Okay. Clear that out. All right. Virgo. Okay, Virgo. Like, I really feel like Virgo energy, you're really going to shine during this time. There's a real great chance for you to start clearing through the clutter, going through your house, your workspace, to start just removing things that you don't need. It's as though you've been acquiring some new, trinkets, or trying to, bring objects into your life, anticipating your manifestation. It's sort of like, you start an Etsy store, but you need to have shipping boxes ready to go. I feel like you've been preparing for something. So what is it that Virgo needs to know during this new moon in Cancer? Get curious. If you've been trying to manifest something brand new into your life, like there's an ask for you to, okay, first of all, you're doing a great job trying to take care of things. Like you're doing an awesome sauce job. But it's sort of like it's time to kind of sit back and stop being the parent, stop being the grown up, and start looking at your manifestations from a more curious, childlike perspective. Because it's sort of like, what's the point of manifesting things into your life if you're not going to have fun? And I hear the resentment. It's sort of like, I'd rather feel safe and secure, berries. First of all, touche. I do understand. But if you've been trying to get out of a survivalist mindset, where are you trying to go? It's like, well, I need to survive, but I don't want to be a survivor. Well, you need to start coming up with a different narrative of who you are. And there's an ask for you to start exploring your psyche, exploring your history, exploring who it is that you are, and falling in love with every aspect of your nature. So we have at the base here, Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords. Like, it's passionate. It's like I just want to stammer, because there's no words to explain how cool your reality could be if you stop focusing so much just on the physical aspects of your situation. Got King of Cups, Page of Cups, childlike perspective, cough, Queen of Swords. Oh man. Like, girls, they want to have fun. Take gender as it resonates. We do have, like, there's a lot of this persona, like going from uh, kingly, masculine, authority and authorship. Like in some ways, you're being asked to let a little bit of this go. You're being asked to let go of control of certain aspects of your situation. Like you have been creating an excellent structure because the King of Cups does also have mastery of their thoughts, of their physical aspects, and also of their passion and their drive. You're doing the right thing, but there's an ask for you to check back in with yourself. Is this like a childhood dream that you're trying to bring into your reality? Because if you're not willing to be dreamy and have this, again, childlike enthusiasm towards the next chapter of your life, you're just going to kind of magnetize business as usual. And business as usual can feel safe. And maybe if that's what you want in the immediate term, great. But I'm not feeling enthusiastic. This is a passionate new beginning. This is where passion leads to personal clarity. Like you're going on an inward journey, and the deck split. I'm going to quickly, Ace of Pentacles. You're on the new beginning. Can you actually trust Virgo? You're actually on the path. Just because what it is that you're trying to manifest isn't showing up in the way that you think it's supposed to be. There's something about whatever energy you're putting out into the universe is business, 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 business. Oh, it has to be this particular way. And you're being asked to sort of break out of that. Like Virgo and Cancerian energy can work in concert with each other, but Virgo can be a little bit too concerned about the physicality, while Cancer is way too concerned about feeling comforted, feeling safe about things. And kids that have a happy life, they also have the semblance of security, emotional, mental, physical, expressive. So you're being asked to parent yourself. It seems apparent. Womp womp. So you got some ancestor energy hanging out around you. But you're going to get a lot of clarity because there is something that is being held back intentionally by the universe, because I am drawn towards this red flag. It's one of these things where when you are way too consumed in the mundane, too concerned about the numbers, you magnetize stress. Every time I say, like, talking about numbers and making sure that you're going to feel safe, all of a sudden my heart chakra wants to close up. You are being guided to really open up your heart chakra, really embrace that opening. And if you haven't checked it out yet, our members on Patreon, I've just started a heart chakra self-love opening series to help you go step by step, to help you open yourself up to the concept of love from all aspects of your life. So for you, I really do recommend checking out those videos because you're closed off to your heart, but this is the King of Cups. It's like you've taken every other consideration into account except your love of the work that you do. Fall in love with who you are, fall in love with what it is that you have manifested, and you're going to be getting a lot of passionate clarity that is going to help boost your career, boost your relationships, and just make life fun, make life worth living. Wow. Okay, Virgo. I'm a wee bit excited for you, although stay grounded. You feel a little bit electric too. All right, very cool. Let's clear that out. Page of Cups, emphasizing that. Okay, let's transition over to Libra. Woof. Hey Libra, how's it going? How are you doing? I feel like something is going to just sort of drop on your lap, and it's going to be a little bit obtrusive, Libra. It's going to be this kind of feeling of, okay, we have to do this. We have to take care of that. Let's take care of this. And it's like, hi, how are you? Could we have a few of the pleasantries before we just dive into whatever the hell this is? What the hell is this, by the way? Reclaim. Oh man, I feel like you're going to be reclaiming your power, reclaiming your sense of purpose. There's something that you gave away to other people that you're just taking your power back. Whether people just think that they can jump in and act as though they own the place, they don't take into account your feelings. I think for the longest time you allowed them to just behave this way. But because I see this card of, reclaim, reclamation, restoration, there's some cool stuff for you going on. Wow, very sudden, brand new things going on for you. You got that for. This is like the two most opposite energies ever. And this is such a hashtag Libra. Oh my God, they were suddenly coming in. Good for you, because I feel like there's a change going on. Yeah, you got a soulmate incoming. This is kind of fun. All right, what do we got here? Two of Pentacles, Seven of Wands. Wow, okay. The Sun. Oh man. Whatever is happening with this particular new, I can't stop smiling. There's just this, I can't even tell if I'm manic. There's a part of me that just kind of wants to laugh at the absurdity of what it is you're going to be going through with this particular new moon. Like, I, whoever this person is, like they're just going to create some contrast for you. I think you're not really giving yourself enough credit with how much you have changed and how much you have rebalanced out your life, Libra. And someone's just going to kind of come in and throw everything off kilter. It's sort of like, a kid, hyperactive kid in a candy store, and they knock over the display. But there's something about the way that you respond, especially if it's, say, like your child, like a previous version of you probably would freak out or feel embarrassed or, not entirely certain what to do. Or there's these old latent emotions when, people within your orbit would just knock everything over. And in some ways you took way too much responsibility for it, but that's changing. Like, whoever this person is, they are going to feel like that kid in a candy store and they knock over the display. It's just like energetic dominoes. But there's some of the way that you respond that's going to show you, Libra, you've been doing an awesome job. You've been, especially if you've been hanging out by yourself, taking some solo time, just trying to center yourself, get to know yourself again, work on things that you find intriguing, passionate, they're more in alignment to the things that you enjoy in life. But I like this. You've put up a healthy boundary to dysfunction. Because it's one of these things where you have dysfunctional people around you at all times, but it's making sure that we have an energetic barrier around us so that even if the chaos happens, we feel centered enough, we feel like we can just contain our energy, reclaim our energy, and just allow the chaos to sort of swirl around us. And when we allow the chaos to swirl around us, we can allow other people to deal with their bullshit. We don't need to take it personally. We could just sort of observe ourselves in our own reality and just know, yeah, I'm here. Yep, I'm kind of part of this. Yep, this is what it is. Because you're becoming way more powerful than I think you realize. So the universe wants to send you like just a wee bit of a chaotic episode just to really show you, wow, a past version of me would have totally freaked out, would have been, resonating in anxiety for weeks over the situation. But the person who I am now, yeah, it's annoying, but it's going to be so much easier to dismiss it. This sun energy is being sent to sort of dissolve away. It's as though you're able to release emotions more readily, that you're able to just accept your circumstances without anger, forcing it, or drowning in a puddle of your anxiety. Like, whatever it is that you're manifesting for this Cancer new moon, it is a test from the universe, but it's just to let you know how much you have grown so that you can have some contrast. Because you might have been super critical with yourself in the past, and your guides want to show you how much stronger you've become as a result of your hard work. Wow. All right, Libra, that is super exciting. And I will say we got a Four of Swords. You've been resting. You've been doing the good work. All right. So that's for Libra. Let's clear out that energy. Like, just, yeah, again, keep yourself grounded. But this is a nice kind of, oh God, I'm excited for you guys, Libra. All right. Scorpio. Yo. Oh, Scorpio. Oh, okay, okay. I'll dial down the goofiness. There's something going on right here. What is it that Scorpio needs to hear for this particular new moon in Cancer? Wow, that was a huge shift. Okay, you guys are going through something right now. Observer. You're being asked right now, Scorpio, like whatever it is that you are facing, you need to be the observer of your own reality. And it's going to be so important that you take a step back from your own chaos. Because if you get involved with this, you could end up inadvertently repeating a very nasty karmic cycle. I'm feeling sick in my stomach. So there's a real important ask in here. Make sure you are drinking water. Make sure that you are keeping your physical body as balanced and anchored as possible. I get the sense that words need to be spoken and you're really struggling with keeping your heart open at this time. And I do recommend you go to my Patreon, go check out the membership series for a heart chakra activation to help reactivate your semblance of safety and self-love. There's a 7-day trial within there. So go in there and check out those healing meditations because they're going to help you feel a lot more stable and confident to do whatever it is that you know you need to do and be able to navigate this because I don't feel like you're doing very well at this time, Scorpio. Got Queen of Pentacles, the Fool. Oh, I feel like I don't feel good about this Queen of Pentacles. This is someone who you've been struggling with giving your all to them. And in some ways, you're having a very difficult time knowing what it is to express, but you have somebody around you that they act as though they are your savior, or they act as though they're most nurturing, caring person in the universe, but there's something very inconvenient about this energy. And I I feel like this person's trying to manipulate you into doing their bidding. Otherwise, they won't give you their love. They won't give you the affection. This is somebody who's withholding affection from you. Damn, I feel awful for you. There we go. We've got the Emperor. Oh. Four of Swords. What else do we have? Chariot. So, Scorpio, first of all, you're not imagining it. And it's going to be very important that you be cautious who you get involved with, whatever this is. I really need to emphasize this. Do not get your friends involved in whatever this is. Because whoever you are, you're somebody who is more than likely surrounded by narcissists. This is somebody who gets off by being withholding. And they do, unfortunately, I'm sorry. This person loves that they get off by being withholding. Like this woman, she has a cheeky little smirk on her face and she loves it that you need her. Like, I do not like this energy that is surrounding you. You have some very toxic people in your vicinity, people who are playing games, they're playing mind games, and they're constantly blame shifting you. Like your foundation around you is crumbling, and hell, for someone out there, the foundation of your home is literally crumbling. Like there's something about your physical reality is falling apart, whether if it's like damage to your home, damage to sort of like trees on your property, like dealing with like infestations, smashed windows. Like there's something going on. The universe is trying so hard to get your attention. You are around evil people, and I think some of you are very aware that these people are evil, but because this Queen of Pentacles is showing up, this is somebody that you don't want to believe that they're a narcissist. You really don't want to believe that this person is playing a mind game with you. This is someone you have poured your genuine love, heart, and soul into. Right now, you're being guided. You need to rest. You need to get solo. Like, you need to start working on your heart chakra. That's why I was recommending going to check out that the Reiki healing series for self-love to open up that heart chakra. Like, there's some faded imagery of a past love, of a past life that I feel like you've been sort of stuck in for a very long time, but it's like a fated love. Not fated as in we were fated to be together, as in it's faded, like, her genes have faded. Like, if you actually look at this character carefully, you can see that there are faded tattoos, faded floral imagery on her genes. And everything has just been sort of woven up into this narrative that you're not good enough, that you're obviously not showing enough. This is an inner dialogue that needs to be dealt with. And if you have access to any kind of healthcare professional resources, I'm also urging you need to check that out. Because with the chariot, the emperor drives the chariot, and you've allowed other people to dictate what it is you should do within life. You gave over your money, you gave over your ideas, your resources. You even allowed this person, in some cases, for some of you, allow this person to dictate what kind of relationship you should have with your family. This person reminds me a lot of my ex-husband, who at some point nearly made me suspicious of my own family, but that was because he was trying to get me into his clutches so that I would only listen to him. You don't need to listen to this person. Right now, you need to get to know your own heart and get to know yourself again, because you've actually lost your identity. And I think it's sort of like you gave over the password to your bank account, and now you no longer have access to your resources. First of all, don't go blaming yourself. This person is very good at manipulating, but it's going to be important at this time, Scorpio. You need to be an observer of your reality. If you feel safe to do so, write this shit down. Write it as a story. It's sort of like if you created fan fiction of your own life, what story would you tell? There's actually some kind of protection about writing fiction that will help you digest what it is that you're going through, because you are somebody that your phone is constantly being monitored. Someone would look at your diary entries. This person is extraordinarily intrusive, and they're very abusive. So in the meantime, while you're trying to figure out where it is you want to go next, remember, you drive the chariot. You have divine permission to drive the chariot. Do not give into their games. Just focus on rest at this time in order to recollect yourself. I do private readings if you feel called to do so, and I'll be able to give you some guidance to help you through this. Wow. Okay, Scorpio. Good luck with that. I really, really mean it. Ooh, all right. Let's clear up some of this energy. I love that we do the 7 of Wands. Good job. Good job. Don't tolerate that bullshit. Okay. Whew. All right. Let's reset that. Oh, da, 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 da. Pardon me, Sagittarius. Scorpio's going through a very difficult time right now. Can you send them a hug, please? They really, really, really could use the hug. But Sagittarius, what is it that you need to know for this particular, wow, someone's dyslexic much. There is a lot of external energy that could be interfering with your ability to properly communicate at this time. So if you're noticing that you're stammering, your words are getting scrambled, maybe the dyslexia is kicking up, it's going to be very important to make sure that you're very tuned in to who it is that you are, and that you're very anchored into your reality, because there's a lot going on around you that wants to make you feel dazed, confused, and you could be tempted to feel mentally checked out during this time where we have movement. So one of the most awkward things when we first encounter a void, not avoiding, but the void, is that we feel the nothingness and we feel the emptiness, and we're tempted to fill the silence. And it seems quite perfect, because the moment I'm trying to do a dramatic pause, even though I have the sound suppression system on, my dog is totally barking in the background trying to fill the silence. You've got energies around you that are trying to make you skip over your emotions so that you don't actually feel into what it is you truly believe and what it is that you truly want. So what is it that Sagittarius needs to know? Judgment. Queen of Swords. So many Queen of Swords have been showing up in today's Zodiac fly through. This is like, I still need to kind of simmer into your energy, Sagittarius. There is an ask for you to let go of a previous version of yourself. Because once you let go of a previous version of yourself, you'll be able to release the people that are trying to interfere with your ability to connect to who it is that you are. Like, this is someone who constantly interrupts you. They tell you what you should believe, so they project that onto you, and you accidentally take on their projections. Anything that you release, maybe consider none of this is you, and all of this is what other people have tried to, I want to say, force onto you or convince you nicely. Like, you've had a lot of fuckers around you. We got Nine of Pentacles, the Tower. Damn, page of wands. So, like, here's the thing: you actually are independent. You actually are. In your 3D reality, you've worked so hard to get independent, but these people live in your mind rent free. That's why this judgment card is here. You're being asked to make a genuine declaration to the universe. Write it on a piece of paper if that's what it takes. But it's like, I release this person from my life, past, present, and future. Go check out my Patreon, and we do have some excellent energy clearing and cord cutting rituals for the memberships that'll help you feel better about dismissing this person from your mind. Because even if you live in a different country from these people, it's still easy for them to access your mind, to access you through, like, I want to say psychosis, but access your psyche or telepathy. This energy still influences you, whether if you talk to them or not, whether if you're physically distant from them or not. And that's the challenge of the internet. It's nice to get physical space from people, but their energy still follows us through text messages, through, social media posts, through even memories. Like, you could go through life never speaking to this person, but you pick up a scent, or maybe there's like a cake that reminds you of a memory with this person. There's so many ways that this energy just crops back on in and distracts you from what is truly yours, what belongs to you. Here's the thing: the universe is helping you. Like, these are major arcanas right here, and the universe is going to be helping you shift out of this. Allow this tower to occur. The tower is your friend. The tower knows all. The tower, this is nothing more than blasting away this projection. Like, don't even let this fool you. You are going to be fine. It's just the etheric energy that needs to be dissolved and transmuted. You're entering into a new timeline of creativity. But because you're running into this from a little bit of a naive perspective, this old energy would accidentally or intentionally, depending on the level of maliciousness of whatever this is, could throw you off course, because this energy can't help you. It can't advise you. It's sort of like, if you want to grow up and be something, like, this is like a parent. They don't know how to make money being an artist. So, even if they are supportive and they want you to become an artist, they're worried for you because they can't give you any kind of advice. And in some cases, they're worried about being useless. And that's a them problem. Like, in some ways, you're learning how to grow up and truly be independent, so that even if you've had a history of dysfunctional relationships, you don't allow the dysfunctional relationships to inform you. You're in a spot where you can start informing people that they are in dysfunction. You see how the tables are turning? So whatever it is that you're looking for, it is incoming. You're still going through the transmutation, but just know that you are so divinely protected. I want to say literally heavenly protected, and it's giving you a chance to walk away from this and start on a fresh timeline. And just remember, you're going to be a bit of a little kid making it up as you go, but that's part of your journey. And it's also to let you know that there are better people who will be able to advise you once you release this from your life. Wow. All right, Sagittarius. Like, I am excited for you. So we got brand new beginnings. So let's clear that out. Yeah, Five of Cups. Whoa, Ace of Cups. new love, letting go of the old, new abundance. There's a lot in here for you, Sagittarius. Don't let the haters get you down. Wowee, that is a weird thing to say. It's fun to clear energy in different ways. I will say that. All right. Capricorn. Capricorn, what is it that Capricorn needs to know for this particular full moon in Cancer. Like, you guys feel very self-contained. It's not often I would call someone with Capricorn energy to be mysterious, but there's something I feel like you've been working on in the backdrop where nobody else has access to. So this is kind of fun. Dare to dream? Whoa, 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 whoa. This is cool. This feels good. Yeah, okay, I've got the lights here, tarot. Dare to dream. Oh man. I like if I was to give one, shout out to Capricorn, shout out to my sister. But Capricornian energy, whew, like goal orientated. Like you guys are technically represented by the devil, but this is in some ways, yes, obsession to wealth, but in some ways this is an obsession to have something that even you never thought you could achieve. I feel like you guys are pushing yourselves and in a healthy way. This doesn't feel karmic because I feel like your material considerations for what it is you want to do in your career, in your love life, like in your, financial health, things like that. You've held yourself back because you want to do things that are achievable. But I feel like there's this sort of kick from the divine or some kind of kick from within your soul. Someone's gonna have a kiddo. Oh, I'm excited. But it's sort of this feeling like you're ready to start dreaming for things outside of your reality, outside of your limitations. I feel like you're getting ready to go into a timeline. This is more like long-term thinking, but thinking a little bit more broadly that you could have things outside of your limitations. Okay, I keep repeating that. Sorry. We got the Hanged Man, Five of Cups. Yeah, it's sort of like, yeah, you've achieved what it is you needed to achieve, and you've been kind of frustrated. It's sort of like, I'm doing all the work, I'm achieving my goals, but why does this feel so like this isn't quite grief, but it's caused grief. Like, I feel like a lot of Capricorns have been held back having to deal with a lot of karmic cycles and a lot of karmic situations. And this dare to dream, it's sort of like, you know what? If I'm limiting myself and I'm magnetizing bullshit, I want better. Like, that's what I kind of hear for Capricorn. I want fucking better. Two of Wands. Yeah, taking a brand new direction. Some of you, I think, are tempted to maybe go on a trip, the Hermit, a solo trip. Seven of Pentacles. Oh man, this almost feels like you're being guided to go on some kind of pilgrimage. Like and it's like a solo pilgrimage, especially if you're a type that wants to, go with a crowd or have an experience with a group of people. There's something that's a little bit different that's shifting within you, Capricorn, regardless if you want to go on a trip or not. Like there's a fun acid trip, and I do not recommend doing drugs. My joke is that I do all the drugs so that you don't have to take any. But there's some kind of almost like an ego death, like a very low key ego death, because you've been kind of stuck hanging around trying to understand your circumstances or trying just to make the best life for you possible. And again, you've brought in people that have caused you grief, that have caused you strife. You've had to work very hard to stand up for yourself in ways that you never thought you'd had to deal with. It's like, look, I'm good with my money. Look, I'm good with my physical resources. So why am I magnetizing these idiots into my life? This is a journey into the soul. In some ways, I think a few of you have, without even really realizing it, you've been going through a bit of a dark night of the soul, or you've been having a difficult time tuning into certain emotions, especially if you've had some past grief, past depression, or anxiety, because I see this like long path like right behind you. But this feels cathartic. It's gonna be important during this time. It's tempted to move forward, get the dream, push yourself through. Like this is a very kind of like, masculine sort of approach to your wealth. You're being asked to take a different, yeah, go about this differently. What if you stayed at home and you explored your mind? What if you explore your soul? What if you look at your physical surroundings and really ask yourself, with all the little trinkets that you have acquired, what does this say about yourself? And I'm talking about the good shit. there's some good things about you that you probably have skipped over because maybe you take it for granted. Maybe you don't recognize it as a superpower. But there's also an ask for you to think about, what is it you're trying to avoid? What are you afraid of? What is it that you were doing that made you think that you would be immune to having to deal with this kind of bullshit? And in some ways, only you can answer those questions. And they're very difficult questions. But there's something going on underneath the surface. So it's going to be very important. You're doing a lot of inward work at this time so that you can actually achieve some broader goals in the physical outside world. But this is one of those manifestations where you have to start it from the inside. You have to plant the seed. You have to allow it to grow, and you have to use your instincts to know if this root system has even taken, taken up. Like when you go to plant something, you have to trust and wait for the initial signs of life. And then you have to trust that you have the skills, the knowledge available to you in order to nurture that, in order to get the seedling to turn into a small plant and have a long-term relationship. This is about you having a long-term commitment to yourself. Rather than being so focused on an external long-term commitment, you're being asked to turn this back around and start figuring out what resources you want to commit to, like whether if it's committing to your own body, your health, your mental health. In some ways, your hobbies and your artistry, especially if you never considered yourself to be an artistic person in the first place, but whatever it is that you are fascinated by, whatever is being driven by your curiosity, foster that at this time. Even if it seems counterintuitive, this is all part of your journey to manifest something that is beyond what you thought was possible. You just got to give it time. Okay, very cool, Capricorn. That is very, very cool. Oh, there's a double. I thought you'd show up eventually. Hello. Goodbye. All right, let's clear that out. Okay. Woo, Aquarius. Hello. I don't know what it is about Aquarian energy. Even though I know your sign is represented by two little zigzags in a row, I always see Aquarian energy as a triangle. So I have no idea if that means anything to anyone. I think in elemental magic, that's considered to be fire. I nearly said elemental management. That's really funny. I really feel like you're going to be upgrading your life sometime soon. But what is it about this new moon in Cancer? What does it mean for Aquarius? Strength. I feel like there's a real wonderful opportunity for you to start digging into your family roots and actually gaining a lot of insight from family karma, family history, and even just stories. This feels very ancestry. Like I have this image of you sitting on the ground and the ancestors are just telling you their stories, and there's this new level of receptivity because I feel as though a past version of you would have been frustrated and annoyed, like, why are you telling me this story again? But it's like you've been on repeat. And if you notice your life is on repeat, you're just watching the same, repeat episodes. Maybe you haven't been all that interested in expanding your knowledge. Like you feel tired. Honestly, you feel very, very tired. But there's something about relaxing your mind at this time and knowing that you don't always need to be performative. You don't always need to be there for everybody else. There's an ask for you to retreat at this time and reconnect with how your ancestors talk to you and what it is that they're actually trying to say. We got Three of Swords, Justice. Hearing that song's like, owner of a lonely heart. Diddle-doo-doo-doo. It's like owner of a lonely heart, much better than owner of a broken heart. There's some kind of lie that it's better to be lonely than it is to be heartbroken. And it's this feeling as though your ancestors are surrounding you and they're trying to encourage you to start risking love, feeling love again. Because you've been really hurt. I got the sense you've been really hurt. Wow, okay, we got the Empress, Magician, Son of Wands. Oh, like, how do I read this? Like, you've been doing a lot of the inner work. I really feel as though you have spent a lot of time, energy, even money on. I want like soothing, re-engaging. Those aren't the right words. In some ways, redefining your sense of self-love and self-worth. You've had to work very hard to reopen the heart chakra, and there's still a little bit of a distortion in here. But I feel like you've been very gentle with yourself, and I think that some of this energy is getting ready to change. But there's a hold up, and I feel like your ancestors are trying to bring this to your attention because you've been. It's like I see this leopard right here, and it's sort of like this leopard still sees how this Three of Swords could be a little bit tasty. There's something that needs to be released out of your life because it's the right thing to do. This is getting over harboring a grudge or constantly. It's like reliving a nightmare of rejection. Somebody rejected you. And this could have been years ago. Somebody hurt you. Somebody lied to you. Somebody did something to you that tore you up from the inside out. And in some ways, it's like you've never had the knowledge to know how to recombine everything and turn this into, I want to say a victory, but that's not quite the word. How do I make the most of the situation? How do I recombine this? How can I crochet this back into a heart? There's going to be some creative inspiration coming through because this magician feels a little bit karmic, but it's more that you have this distortion from a past hurt, from a past pain that's informing your manifestations. And your guides and ancestors are trying to slow you down for a minute so that you don't repeat a painful karma. Because especially with this energy, there was a lot of physical considerations, and this was a very shallow energy that had hurt you. And this is something that you wanted it more than they wanted. And even then, that realization really hurt you because it wasn't a justified connection. There are some truths that your ancestors are trying to show you, but you haven't been able to see it because as long as you felt as though you weren't lovable, or that maybe this person made you feel as though you did something when really, in fact, they were the ones who caused the pain. Because sometimes this is forever being stuck waiting for the apology. I'm going to say this. If this person's a narcissist, there's one thing you always need to bear in mind, Aquarius. Narcissists do not like closure. They do not like closure. Because as long as they feel like they have the upper hand, as long as they feel as though they can have control of the situation, they will forever stand on that hill and they will die on that hill. And that's not you. There's an illusion you've been asked to get over. You're actually a really strong person, and the only emotion that you've been avoiding is that you were fooled. So there's something about your ego that needs to die, but you're being reborn. Like, I see the snake here with the Son of Wands. You are going to be able to transmute the situation into your artistry. You know, I make a joke about taking all of this red thread that was your heart, and crocheting it back into a heart. There's something about the way that you overcome this is the gift. You learning how to rise above and get your strength is your abundance, is your creativity. So just make sure that as you're moving through this and learning to heal from this, that you are speaking from a voice of victory and how you've overcome, rather than being stuck to the past and trying to get attention on the pain. Wow. Okay. So that's what Aquarius needs to know. I just saw, Ace of Cups, and I like that we have the Daughter of Wands working into your abundance. All right, Aquarius, good luck with that. Okay. Pisces, what is up with Pisces? All right, so what is it that the Piscean collective needs to know for this new moon in Cancer? Woo, suddenly I'm feeling a wee bit chipper in this particular energy. What do we got? Underworld, explorer of the underworld. Oh, I in some ways, I this feels daring. Oh, do I want it? This. Yeah, let's explore this. I feel like you're becoming way more daring at your shadow work. That's what's kind of fun about what I'm picking from Pisces. Like my eyes just want to pop out of my head. It's like, ha, 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 what's going on now? What's happening here? What fresh hell is this? Like, I really feel like you guys are in this, you're starting to embrace the absurdity that is your reality, and in some ways doing the shadow work, doing the understanding the karmic binds that are keeping you attached to bullshit. I think you're overcoming something, especially over the next couple of weeks. Six of Pentacles, Six of Swords, knowing what is worth trying to work out and what is not worth working out. Like, you've been so generous and way too kind with all kinds of external energies, and I feel like there's somebody within your radar that they've sort of lost all grace with you. It's like, really? Okay, we finally had the final straw, and Nine of Cups, Six of Cups, the Hierophant. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot more going on than just, like, that silly random nonsense that I was just channeling a moment ago. There's someone around you that really thinks it's okay to tell you what it is that makes you feel happy. But this makes you happy. What makes you think that that makes me happy? This is someone that you've been dealing with a lot of projectionary energy onto you. Like the most benevolent way I can look at this energy is a very well-meaning parent, or sort of like a very well-meaning street corner preacher. Like, they really want to see your soul being saved. They see the karmic binds on your wrists, but this is a person, they don't see that they have their own binds. Like, it's a little hard to see just because of the card, but there is a bracelet on the Nine of Cups, and I actually see it the same as his barbed wire, the barbed wire bondage, which, it sounds like a scene. Like, whatever floats your boat, you go do that elsewhere. But this person, they're completely blind to how much of a hypocrite that they are. Maybe you've tried to educate them. Maybe you've tried to put yourself into your priest-like energy to talk about, hey, here's a story about what it means to be a hypocrite. Hey, I listened to this thing about talking about what it's like to be a hypocrite. Hey, don't you fucking realize you're being a hypocrite? Like, this person, they don't get the parables. They don't get the passive aggressive. They don't even get it when you say it to them directly. This is a past life karmic relationship that you're being asked to dissolve, because you are showing up as the Hierophant. Did you know you have the authority to cut cords? Like, I do offer cord cutting rituals to my Patreon members, but those are attunements. Ideally, you should listen to those once or twice, and you should have the attuned divine knowledge in order to cut the cords. And there's something about you being okay within your own authority to cut a cord with somebody. This is just a past life contract that needs to be dissolved out. Because I got all this parent-child energy. Even if this person is older than you, maybe if they are a literal parent or somebody who would have earthly authority, or, they're higher up in quote unquote the hierarchy, just because they have the 3D upper hand, you have the 5D upper hand. You're allowed to give yourself authority to just end this. You tried to soothe it. You've tried to reason with it. You tried to see both sides of the picture, but this person isn't meeting you with where you are at. And that's okay. They're not meeting you with where you are at, which means that you've elevated. You've actually done a lot of the work. And if this is resonating with you, just know that this is your confirmation to let you know you have no responsibility to this energy. They need to be cut so that they can go on their way and figure this out on their own. Wow. Okay. Good luck with that, Pisces. Yeah, Queen of Wands, the Emperor. Yeah, cough. That story totally checks. All right. All right. Good luck with that, Pisces. I'm excited for you. Woo. All right. Aries. Bum, bum, bum. What is up with Aries? Okay, I'll stop joking around. Like, I feel like there's someone in your energy, Aries, that they can't take a joke. It feels like somebody who is, I don't know, really grumpy. I feel like I've been tolerating a grumpy energy for a little bit too long. But I think in some ways, like you're kind of learning how to come back down to earth, learning how to be yourself. And especially maybe you've struggled with people pleasing or maybe being heavily defensive. Like, let's see, what is it that your guides want you to know for this new moon in Cancer? Compassion. Yeah, okay. You know, I'm picking up this individual that it's sort of like they can't understand that you're just joking around. They can't understand that you're just enjoying life. And it's sort of like, it's not, they don't want to, it's just that they can't. You got somebody around you who is like, they're traumatized, they got their anxiety, they got their issues. But there's something very benevolent about you that I'm picking up. You know, you've done a lot of work to heal out some traumatic connection with this person. Like I'm picking up a lot of like fatherly energy. So this could be somebody that you've had like a lifelong relationship with, or somebody you feel like you've known forever. Like this is a very deep level soulmate connection that you have. But yeah, Daughter of Cups, the Star. I feel like you've been trying to manifest a conversation with this person. But if they've been kind of moody and judgmental, you've probably been keeping your distance from them for a very, very good reason. I do sense that it's sort of like it's not a brand new beginning, but it's sort of like with the star over here, there's a chance for you guys to get on equal footing, but it's more so rewrite the relationship. It's sort of like a more like a contract, a soul contract reset. That makes way more sense. What do we have here? Hit death. There's the rewrite. There's something about the way that you used to relate to this person. And it's not even so much that you're getting rid of this person. I think you love them. There's a lot of compassion that you have for them, but there's a recognition, Aries, that you've grown a lot. You've done a lot of work on yourself. Into a cups. The world. Yeah, you're being asked to consider rewriting the contract, rewriting the narrative that you have with this individual, especially if they've been kind of moody and you know that they've struggled with their own mental health issues. This is sort of like a parent and a child no longer having the authority of the parent to the submission of the child. This is sort of like parent-child becoming more like a sibling dynamic where they're a little bit equal. Or in some cases, this is you having to learn how to parent your own parents. Another way this can manifest is you learning how to parent yourself. Because if, say, you've no contact with this person, whether if they're passed on or maybe they were really just hellishly abusive and they're not worth connecting with, it still means that you need to resolve the karma from within. But there's a technique of like learning how to parent yourself. Like there is an inner child that really just would like to have a brand new beginning, a fresh new approach, a fresh start on how life should be lived. I really sense that within you, Aries. Because you have some new relationship incoming, but there's something about the old paradigm needs to die off in order to welcome in something brand new. Like, don't get me wrong, you are actually ending a very toxic karmic cycle. And is everything with you understanding how emotions are reflected at you? Like, I feel as though your emotional maturity is going up a level. This feels really, really good. Because once you're able to feel more confident with who you are, you know, being able to tap into your sense of self-worth and authority, knowing that you're not being an egoic bastard. Like this person may accuse you of being an egoic bastard, but if you're able to differentiate yourself from them, it's like, yeah, I can see with their pain and with their trauma and what they've been through, I can see why they would perceive me as being egoic. But there's some kind of a shift going on. Like you're entering into a level of emotional maturity right here. And it's going to give you a portal to work things out with family, to work things out with past relationships. And you can do all this work inwardly. Some of this you might get the opportunity to see it manifest outwardly. And if that's what you want, you can ask for it. The universe will do what it can, but you have to be very open. So, like, if this is a passed on parent, like, it's sort of as though you get into an argument with somebody who reminds you of your parent. And it's sort of like you get a second chance energetically. And this, you know, random soulmate the universe sent you still helps absolve the contract. Just allow your ego to be dismissed. The person who you used to be no longer exists. And the more you work this out, you're going to be magnetizing new love, new opportunities, and new friendships. And for one of you, you will be able to magnetize a lovely apology and have a completely brand new dynamic with this person. Wow. Okay. That's for you, Aries. Oh, we got the rose. Yeah, we got the kitty cat trying to show up with a rose at the front doorstep. It's very cute. I like that. All right, Aries, good luck with that. Yeah. All right, we got to clear the air. Taurus, you're the only one I wanted to bring out the bells. So what is up with Taurus that is going to impact them the most during this Cancerian new moon? All of a sudden, my nose feels extremely itchy. That was easy. All right, Taurus, what's up with you? Ascension. Oh, no wonder we got that. Like you're at, oh, this is super cool. You know, as my I didn't really feel like anything bad was going on with you, but I really feel like you're going up a spiritual bracket, as though there's going to be an awakening within your very core being to your psychic gifts. Especially for some of you, if you're new to the spiritual path, it's sort of this feeling like, well, I love to have, like, you know, super psychic X-Men skills, but maybe they don't exist, but I secretly want them. But they probably don't exist, but I secretly want it. It's a fun sort of push and pull that I'm picking up from you. Eight of Cups, talk about a push and a pull. Eight of Cups, Four of Wands. Yeah, there's two different ways. It's sort of like you're going on to brand new horizons and hey, there's a party. Like there's actually something about you just finally walking away from the old paradigm, because now that you've seen through a lot of people's bullshit and you've been seeing through some karmic cycles, it's giving you permission to be like, you know what, maybe I could just go on and find things that are better and way more fun, because I feel like you've been holding yourself back because you wanted to hold space for people, you wanted to be there for them, you didn't want to be that jerk. But I got Five of Wands. Damn. The sun, that's like, yeah, I see the sun over the horizon, like following your bliss. Ace of Pentacles. Oh man. Like, I feel like you're starting to get way more sensitive to bullshit, but I think you've been getting better at withdrawing yourself from it. Like, I feel like you've had some past karmic relationships that it's sort of like you were worried about hurting their feelings, so you didn't pursue your own goals because it would impact this person, or you were afraid of hurting their feelings. But this is Five of Wands. This is weak ass bullshit. Like, look how frail and fragile this platform is. Like, you don't necessarily want to be climbing this, especially if, like, you're an engineer mindset. But there's a shift. Now that you've let go of an old karmic loop, it's opening up this brand new portal, the portal to the sun, if you will, where you can just start discarding. And this may be actual literal for some of you, because I believe that as of this channeling, um, the planet Mars has now gone into Virgo, And it's sort of created this spontaneous desire just to clean things up, just to clear the air. Probably why I wanted to bring out the bells. There's been this need to clear the air for yourself because you have held yourself back in order to make sure that other people's feelings don't get hurt. And I think you've been a little bit butthurt realizing, why did I do that? Because this person, more than likely, they just kind of faded out of your life anyways. It's like I poured all my time, energy, and money, and they still left me. Like, what the fuck? Like, that doesn't seem fair at all. But I feel like this is your past. Like that's what you've let go of. And I think now that you've seen through the cycle, it's opened you up to a brand new set of skills. Your intuition is starting to become more active and way more sensitive, and it's putting you into a positive headspace. There's just an ask right now. Try not to be super manic about what's going on. Like Taurus, you are all about feminine energy, being anchored into the earth. There's a lot of lushy energy that I associate with Taurians, but because you've had this realization, it's going to be tempting to go off into outer space and just be mindful about it. This is your chance to manifest a brand new beginning, and it's already begun. Like I see that this is germinated. It's the initial stages of your brand new beginning. And it's okay to take some time to open up that portal and peer into it and see what it is you want to see, not what you think you deserve. You're being asked to ask for what you want, not for what you deserve. Like your solar plexus is going through a bit of an activation. So be conscientious about what you eat. And if you have any kind of stomach aches and stuff like that, that means that your solar plexus is going through a bit of an upgrade. And you just need to be nice to yourself. Don't give yourself shit because you're not like awesome sauce right off the bat. You have a lot of healing that still needs to be done on the physical plane, but dare to dream. Like you're a lot like Capricorn's energy. So go check out that reading even if you do not have any Capricorn placements in your birth chart, because there's something similar going on between both of you guys. Just keep walking on. You're just gonna start noticing how things just show up when you walk forward. Damn. All right, Taurus, have fun with that. Yeah, Eight of Swords. Don't overthink it, guys. Don't overthink it. Okay, clear that out. All right, Gemini. What is it that Gemini needs to know for? Oh, my neck is suddenly getting a little bit tense right now. Geez, what is it that Gemini needs to know for this new moon in Cancer? No, we gotta keep. We have patience, don't be in such a hurry. What do we have? Self-love. You're gonna be so tempted to go out and do all the things, Gemini, but you're being asked to really focus on what actually matters to you at this time. Like self-care, beauty, authenticity, trusting yourself. These are qualities that you're being encouraged to really tune into at this time. What do we have for Gemini with this message of self-love and self-worth? Because I really feel like you guys are being guided to really focus on your masculine energy. And the masculines in the animal kingdom, like, I always resented as a kid that the boy peacocks were the prettier ones, just because I'm a brat that way. But there's something about you really working on your inner beauty and being attractive for your own sake, as opposed to being attractive to bring in a mate. There's something that you've been sort of projecting out that a lot of people have really misunderstood you and misunderstood your intentions. And if you're able to kind of bring this back around and just focus on loving yourself and then seeing how you naturally act and react, I think you can be pleasantly surprised with some of the shifts. We got Three of Pentacles, King of Cups. Are you going to be meeting somebody? I actually feel like, there's something in here. Like I have no words for it. Let's get some justice. Yikes. The Fool. Two of Pentacles. You've been so unfair to yourself. You've been super fucking unfair to yourself. Like, I'm all of a sudden borderline angry and sad on your behalf. You've not been taking care of yourself, but that is changing. It's sort of like there's this voice within your soul that's telling you, hmm, it's so hard to hear. It's more of a feeling. We got the world. You have some, actually, Gemini, you have some of the most difficult energies to read. You're gonna, you've been treated unfairly, and there's an ask for you to start taking control of your life and asking yourself what is fair. If you are living in authenticity and a semblance of self love, taking care of your body, taking care of your finances, your spirituality, where is it that you've been unfair towards yourself? Because if you've had a lot of people who have been unfair to you, we could blame them all day long, but free will is divine. You're being gifted a chance to really take control of your situation. I mean, really take control of the situation. Because the King of Cups does have the power of not giving over their emotions to bullshit. To, because I think you've had a lot of people project their issues onto you, and you might have felt bad or annoyed that they would see you that way. But you've been around people who have parental issues and they can't see past it. So they project those issues onto you, and it could set you off. It's sort of like, why are you seeing me that way? That's you. That's what you're like. But you've been kind about it. Because again, the King of Cups doesn't go berating and chiding people unless someone asks for it. I think there's a chance for you to stop preaching. Well, I'm not seeing the Hierophant anywhere. It's more that it's not your job to rebalance other people's dysfunction. You actually have a lot of people around you that they don't like themselves. They flaunt and they over exaggerate their appearance in order to appear a certain way. These are people who are caught up in ego. But because you've been doing a lot of this self work, you've been working more on who are you naturally. And you can still put on makeup and it being natural. It's just an ask for you to really think about whatever it is you're projecting to the world. Is it an authentic reflection of you? And also give yourself permission to change, because the Fool is a change energy in the sense that the previous cycle has come to an end and we don't need to abide by those rules anymore. And you're entering into this fresh timeline where you are able to be yourself, where you actually are able to take control of the situation and you actually get to have authorship over it, which means that sometimes you have to renegotiate your friendship contracts, your work contracts, or completely kibosh them all together and have a brand new beginning. It's up to you to decide what is most important to you, but at the end of the day, if you are balanced in your semblance of self-love, it is justified. If somebody else wants to knock that off course, you don't need to entertain it. You have enough abundance and authority to move forward and magnetize other people into your life that will be supportive, but not a crutch. Wow. Okay. So, getting into the final stages, let's get one collective message for everybody who is still watching. First of all, thank you so much for being here. Having you around makes it so much nicer to have someone to talk to. Because I always feel like I have these overwhelming messages and I need to know that they're reaching the people who need to hear them. So if you're here, thank you so much, because apparently you've needed to find these messages. Wow. Like, a lot of people have more than likely been projecting their arrogance onto you, and there's an ask for you to really just hold space for yourself. You are not an arrogant, righteous fuckwit. Other people are arrogant, and they think that cutting you down is them being accountable to the energy, but these people are not awakened. It's time for you to feel awakened. Otter spirit, you are never alone. Overcome any obstacle. Tend to the small things. Frog spirit, clear out the clutter. We have, yeah, otter, rhino, and mouse spirit. Tend to the small things. It's time for you to start considering what is worth holding on to and what is worth releasing in your life. Anyone who makes you feel lonely and isolated, it's clutter. People who are interfering and digging into you over the smallest ridiculous things, it's time to clear them out. These energies have made you feel as though you need them, but in fact, they truly need you. Just take comfort knowing you have so much support. You have a lot of emotional support from your angels, guides, and ancestors. You are magnetizing people into your reality who have authorship and self-love, who will be able to support you, encourage you, teach you how to better love yourself. Don't get overwhelmed with the big picture. It is important, but take care of the little things. Honor where it is that you are at. Don't allow yourself to get overwhelmed. Just allow yourself to be yourself and love who it is that you actually are. I'm just saying. Wow. Well, again, happy new moon in Cancer. I want to thank you so much for sticking around. If this resonated with you, please let me know. Like the video, drop me a comment. I love hearing your guys' stories. When we share, it opens up a portal for healing. Make sure to like and subscribe if you'd like to get more messages just like this. Otherwise, when I see you guys at the next one, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries.